welcome to Island Vibe Cooking with me, Rose. Today, I'm going to show you guys how to make the most creamy, delicious Marry Me chicken pasta. Yes, you heard me. Marry Me chicken pasta. Didn't come up with the name, the TikTokers came up with the name, okay? Apparently, if you make this pasta for someone you love, they will put a ring on it. We'll see. So today I'm going to show you guys how to make it with my twist, you know, the Island Vibe twist on it. So hopefully you enjoy it. First thing we'll be doing is boiling the pasta. So let's get that going. I'm going to boil the pasta with just a little bit of salt to my water. Cover it, then we're going to allow that to boil. The water is boiling, so now it's time to add the pasta right in. You can use any pasta. It doesn't matter the shape. Okay, pour that in. We're going to let the pasta cook for about 7 minutes. While that is cooking, we're going to season the chicken. I have 2 chicken breasts here. I'm going to trim off the fat. Now, you can make this with chicken thighs as well. But you know, chicken breast looks better on plate to me, especially when making pasta. So once you have all the fat removed, you're going to slice it, okay? Slice it right in the middle. That is going to help the chicken cook faster. Alrighty, let's slice the other one just like that. Slice that fat. And now you have 4 servings of chicken breast. Now the chicken breast is ready to season. You're just going to pour a little bit of olive oil on there. Rub that in just like so. You're going to flip it over. Pour a little bit more olive oil on there. And then you're going to rub it in, okay? Just like that. Now it's time to season. I have Creole seasoning, onion powder, garlic powder, paprika, a little bit of parsley in here, and lemon pepper as well to give it a nice little zesty flavor. Give that a mix just like so. Then we're going to season our chicken. Mixing the seasoning will help the chicken get every bit of each seasoning. Now I'm going to flip the chicken over, and then we're going to season the other side, just like that. Rub that in just like this, and your chicken is nice and seasoned. The pasta is nice and done cooking. It's nice and soft, all right? It's perfectly cooked. It took me about 7 minutes to cook the pasta. I guess it might be on the shape of your pasta or how big the pasta is, but it took me about 7 minutes. So now it's time to drain the hot water so the pasta doesn't continue to cook. So let's turn that off and drain the hot water. All right guys, the chicken is nice and seasoned. I am going to flour the chicken. Basically, you're going to take the chicken and dredge the chicken to the flour. This will add a nice texture to the chicken, very lightly. Doesn't have to be too much, just like this. Put it back on the cutting board. All right, we're going to do the same thing with this one. A very light coat of the flour. Shake the excess, place it back here. You can tell this chicken is well seasoned. We're going to pan-sear this chicken, and it's gonna have a nice, beautiful color and a beautiful crust. All right? Now it's time to pan-sear this chicken. I have my skillet nice and hot. I'm going to pour a little bit of olive oil, about 2 tablespoons. Make sure it's medium-high heat, okay? Then we are going to place the chicken in there. The chicken needs to be cooked for about 4 minutes per side. As you can see or hear, the oil is nice and hot. The chicken is sizzling. I'm going to place 1 more in there. Alrighty, pan sear this for 4 minutes per side, then you can flip it over in a few minutes. It's smelling amazing in here. Time to flip the chicken. Ooh, it looks so good. A lot of people don't really like chicken breast. I think it's because they're cooking it wrong. Once you learn how to cook chicken breast, you will enjoy it every time. Quick tip, be sure you don't overcook your chicken breast because it will be dry in the middle. Usually about 4 minutes per side, 3 to 4 minutes per side should do it, okay? So it can be nice and juicy in the middle. The chicken looks so beautiful, nice and golden brown, smelling amazing. So we're going to remove those. Looking amazing, smelling good. Look how beautiful this is. Ooh wee. We're going to set that aside. Coming up, I'm going to show you guys how to make the most delicious creamy sauce for the pasta. Stay tuned.
Freedom. It's at the core of who we are. The freedom to live without fear, to jog where we please, to wear a hoodie. The freedom to breathe. Before we celebrate the freedom most Americans have, we must fight for the freedom all Americans deserve. Because all lives can't matter until Black lives matter.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, and you're having a great night at Disney World's Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
I don't want to jump you, but you don't even qualify to speak on this. So fucking good.
TGIF. Live and interactive.
I need to clear this up, y'all. You are one of the main ones trying to push the narrative that your girl can't cook. Al has been in my house. I can cook.
I'm finna test you out right here. What are acceptable types of smoked meat to put in the collard greens?
Turkey necks.
Oh?
Don't do me.
On Fox Soul.
Don't you do me. Don't.
My mom wanted my life to be better than what she had as a kid. When I became a mom myself, I feel like my whole world changed. You don't have to be a climate scientist to want to protect the earth. You always want the next generation to have something better than what you had.
Now, the same skillet, we're going to add butter, unsalted, okay? Going to melt your butter. Once that is melted, we're going to add in some onions. I'm adding the onion first. You know, onion is thicker than the garlic. Then I'll add the garlic about 30 seconds after. Once the onion is nice and translucent, it's time to add your garlic in. All right. Ooh, I love the smell of garlic. The smell of garlic just makes you feel like the food is about to be tasty. It just smells so good. Now I'm going to add in the sun-dried tomatoes. This is what makes the dish, okay? This is what gives the dish the name Tuscan chicken pasta. The sun-dried tomato gives the dish a nice, unique flavor. Now I'm going to fry this for about 30 seconds. Then we're going to add in our spinach. Now I don't want to add the spinach too soon because I don't want to overcook the spinach. You know, you want to get as much vitamins from the spinach as possible. So cook it less if you can, okay? Give that a stir. It's smelling amazing. I'm telling you, this dish is about to be fire. It's about to be so delicious. All right, now it's time to add our heavy cream. Pour that in just like so. This is going to make it nice and creamy. Okay, now you have to season this sauce so it can be nice and flavorful. So here's what I have to add in there. I have a little bit of Italian seasoning. This will add a nice herby flavor. The Italian seasoning has thyme, basil, oregano. It's going to add a nice flavor to this dish. Also, I am going to add a little bit of better than bouillon in here. This is a poultry seasoning. It's very big in flavor. I love using this whenever I'm making any chicken-based dish, okay? It's so good, so tasty. Also, to make this nice and cheesy, we have a little bit of Parmesan cheese, okay? Maybe a handful. Don't want it to be too cheesy. And also we have some freshly grated Parmesan that I'm going to be adding in there. Now I like to grate my own cheese sometimes because it tastes better, it melts better. So we're going to add that in just a little bit. All right, now let's give this a stir. It's nice and creamy and cheesy at the same time. Can't wait to add the pasta in there and also the chicken. You know the chicken is already flavorful, so this dish is very, very delicious, extra delicious. This sauce alone, you can eat it with the pasta with no chicken. That's how flavorful this creamy sauce is. Now, once we add the chicken in there, it's going to be amazing. So let's dice up the chicken so we can place it in there. Now it's time to dice up the chicken. Chicken smelling amazing. This piece of chicken, I'm going to leave that to garnish. So let's try to cut it nicely so we can add it on top of the plate once everything is done cooking. I can take a bite right now. It's smelling so good. And of course, look at that juicy chicken breast. That's what I'm talking about, okay? If you're making a chicken Caesar salad, you can try this too. It tastes amazing. Use the same recipe. Now let's pour this chicken in the creamy sauce. We're going to add the chicken right in. It smells so good. Time to add the pasta right in. As you can see, the pasta is nicely cooked. Okay, perfectly cooked actually. Give that a toss. Now you can turn down your heat. Okay, give it a mix. It's smelling so good, nice and creamy. I think Marry Me chicken is one of my favorite meals to eat because the flavors are coming from everywhere. The chicken, the sun-dried tomato, you have the Italian seasoning in there. And the way that I make it with the chicken bouillon base, so good, so good. If you don't get married after making this dish for your significant other, I don't know what will, okay? It's so good. Nice and done, and that's it. Ready to eat. When I tell you this pasta smelling so good, I can't even describe how good it smells, but I know it's going to be as good as it smells, okay? It smells amazing. And you know what would go very nicely with this meal, with this dish? A side of garlic bread. Oof, oof, oof. It would have turned up this meal to a whole nother level. Look at that. Look how creamy this is. We're going to add a dash of Parmesan cheese on top, freshly grated Parmesan cheese. How can we forget about this delicious chicken? So we're going to add the chicken first, and then we'll shred some Parmesan cheese on top. Ooh. Just make everything look so complete. And that's the dish. The aroma in here is to die for. I can't wait to try this food out. because my mouth is watering. Let's give it a taste. I wanna make sure I get every piece, okay? Some chicken in there, let's give it a try. When I tell you this pasta is so delicious, so flavorful, the chicken, all of the herbs, it's just combining, just creating this beautiful flavor in your mouth. Just trust and believe me, okay? You gotta try it to know what I'm talking about. If you don't get married after making this, I don't know what will get you married, okay? Coming up, I'm going to show you guys my secret on how to make the most crispy fried calamari. Stay tuned.
Stories that we're going to cover come from around the world, around the country. Some of them will warm your heart. Some of them will make you good and mad.
McMillan and Morrow.
There's been an uptick in fights at Disney World.
That's because it's hard to be happy in Florida right now.
Every Thursday night.
Yeah, and you're having a great night at Disney World, Epcot.
How you gonna ban Black history? Here are people go through 400 years of suffering and work themselves to the place where they can become the leader of the free world. That ain't no educational value. I'm fired up.
Meet the scan, a simple procedure whose mission is to detect lung cancer early.
I'm here to save you.
But I feel fine.
That's great, but you may still be at high risk for lung cancer.
Oh man, that's a new fence.
If you smoke, early detection could save your life. Learn more at savedbythescan.org.
This one's for the real ballers and shot callers, the sisterhood of women in tech. They're discovering cures, building apps, and programming the blockchain. They're CEOs, worldwide hustlers who can make it rain. They're tearing down the old boys club and seeing big gains. Because when women in tech come together, you know they make that change.
Welcome inside the black box.
So you guys ready to have some fun?
Forget the acting studio. I'm here with you guys.
Creativity will find its way. It doesn't matter what the ethnicity is.
Television and movies are the mediums of stereotypes.
Just because we all have the same color don't mean we have the same experience.
Your uniqueness is your greatness.
Welcome inside the black box.
Every Monday on Fox Soul.
Now we're going to move on to another recipe. One of my favorite actually. We'll be making fried calamari. It's nice and crispy, and I'm going to pair it with this amazing sweet chili sauce. So good. So let's begin. All right guys, I have my calamari here. This is about 16 ounce. I'm going to pour in buttermilk in there. Now the buttermilk is going to make this nice and tender. Now we're going to add 2 eggs in there. The eggs will make the calamari nice and crispy. Okay. Now I've been using eggs to fry shrimp, even salmon. It always comes out really, really crispy. So always add some eggs to your fried seafood. So now I'm going to add mustard. Don't worry, if you don't like mustard, you're not going to taste it at all. So just add that in. I have a little bit of hot sauce here that we're going to add in as well. And also we have Creole seasoning. I want to pour that in, or any all-purpose seasoning should do. Now we're going to mix it together. Work all the seasoning, make sure the eggs is nice and mixed together. Now the buttermilk is going to help the calamari get nice and tender, less chewy. So work that in just like that. To help the buttermilk work its magic, we're going to cover it, place it in the fridge for about 30 minutes. And we'll take it out. You can leave it longer in there if you have time, but we're going to place it in the fridge. While that is in the fridge, we're going to be working on seasoning the flour. I have 1.5 cups of flour in here. It's all-purpose flour. I like to add it to a bowl with a lid. That way, when we add the calamari, so we can get a nice coat of the flour on there. Also, I have a lot of seasoning in here. I have 1/2 tablespoon each. I have Old Bay, onion powder, garlic powder, dry parsley, ground black pepper, a little bit of Creole seasoning. We're going to pour that into our flour. Pour it in there just like so. You don't need a whisk because you can just literally cover this and mix all of the ingredients together, all of the seasonings together. And just like that, you have your seasoning and the flour nicely combined together. While we have the calamari in the fridge, I'm trying to kill some time, so I am going to be making the sauce. This sauce is so delicious. All you have to do is add a little bit of butter to your skillet, medium-high heat. And I have a little bit of minced garlic in here. Now, once you have your butter nice and melted, you're going to add in your garlic. Going to fry that for about 10 seconds or until fragrant. Stir it just like so. Once it starts smelling like garlic up in your kitchen, you're going to add in some sweet chili sauce, okay? Just like that. This is about 1/4 cup of sweet chili. Mix it up together. It's sweet, it's garlicky, it's spicy, my type of sauce. Now I'm going to add 1 tablespoon of soy sauce in there. The soy sauce is going to balance the sweetness from the sweet chili sauce. Give that a stir just like that, and basically the sauce is done. It's that quick and it tastes amazing with fried shrimp or fried calamari. So perfect together. The perfect combo. Okay guys, our calamari has been sitting in the fridge for about 30 minutes now. I am going to add them to the flour. You're going to grab your calamari like this. Make sure to remove any excess water. And then we're going to place it into our flour, just like so. Alrighty. Just like that. And the seasoning is very, very strong. Lots of pepper in there. So I know it's going to be nice and flavorful. Once you have it in there just like that, you're going to cover it. Give it a shake, just like so. Remove the lid, and you have your calamari nice and floured up. All right. Remove any excess or shake it for any excess flour. Then we can fry these. We're going to repeat the same step over again. Grab it, shake any excess of the water. Then we're going to place it into your flour. I'm going to add as much as possible in there so I don't have to do too many batches. So shake, place in there. And now I'm going to cover it again and give it a nice shake. Just like that. Now, if you like a thicker breading on the calamari, what you can do, you can put it back in the egg wash and place it back in the flour. You'll have a thicker breading, okay? Just double coat them. So when I was little, I used to eat calamari a lot because 2 of my brothers, they were like fishermen. They used to go fishing a lot. And how we used to eat them is basically grill them. They were so good, so good. And we add something called pickles on it. It's so tasty. And I used to eat them all the time, never get tired of them. Still this day, I still like them, especially fried. I still like them. All right, now it's time to fry these. So let's go over the stove and fry these. Now we're going to fry them. They shouldn't take long to fry, really. Maybe about 3 minutes per side and flip over here and there. So make sure your oil is always at 350 degrees, okay? And do not overcrowd your pan because you will lower the temperature as you add too much in there. So this is perfect. Do not overcrowd your pan when you're frying because you don't want to lower the temperature. You want to keep the temperature at 350 at all times. I'm going to keep flipping them here and there. You can see the texture is nice and crispy already. Just give it some time for it to turn golden brown, then we'll remove these. All right, guys, they look nice and ready and golden brown. Come take a look. Oof, oof, oof. Very nicely done. I cooked these for about 4 minutes in total, so beautiful texture. The breading is on point. We're going to quickly fry these. The temperature has to be 350. This time, I'm going to add a little bit more so I can have these done fast, okay? All right. Can add all of it in there. Oh. As soon as you add them in there, try your best not to stir it. You know, the breading is kind of soft, so give it a few minutes before you start mixing and stirring, you know, just so the breading doesn't come off. So now I think I can kind of give them a little move around. Now it's time to remove those. They're nice and done and crispy, smelling like calamari up in here, okay? They're so crispy. The breading is so perfect. Now tell me if this is not the best appetizer ever. If you never tried calamari, please give it a try. Please give it a try. I feel like if you like shrimp, you're probably going to like calamari, so give it a try. Now they sound crispy. You can hear the sound. These are about to be fire. Especially with that sauce we made. Oh my, it's going to be so good together. All right, guys, and now we're going to pour in our sauce. You cannot forget the sauce. This is what's going to take this to a whole nother level. Ooh. I'm adding some lemon slices. Love me some seafood with lemon juice on there. And last but not least, we're going to add some fresh parsley to garnish. Oof, oof, oof. How beautiful is this? Beautiful. It's finally time to try these. I am so excited, so let's give them a try. So crispy. Y'all can hear this? Wow, let's give it a try. And of course, I have to add some lemon juice in there. If you know, you know. Pour some juice in there so it's sweet, sour, spicy, you know. Let's give it a try. Mmm. Mmm, mmm, mmm. That sauce, first thing you taste. So yummy. 10 out of 10, you gotta make these. So bomb. Thank you for watching these delicious recipes. I hope you guys had fun as much as I did making them. Hopefully you can try it for your family. If you want the recipes, you can go over to my Facebook page, Island Vibe Cooking. That's where you will find the recipe. You can follow me on Instagram as well. Island Vibe Cooking is the name. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you on the next recipe.